Hey, GutFoxx here. Today I'm talking Madden with Embrythegh0st. It's a long one, so I have our different segments linked in the description. Today's sponsor is GutFoxx blunders, one guaranteed in every video. Today's blunder is his computer's internal microphone catching his audio instead of his external one, decreasing audio pleasure for those listening. I'm sorry for that, guys. Anyways, here's the podcast with Embrythegh0st. Enjoy. Embrythegh0st, take us through your history playing Madden.
All right, let's see. Though when I first started playing Madden, it would have to be my first ever Madden was Madden 99 for the 64. You know that one with I think it was Brett Favre on the cartridge.
Was that a Madden? I thought Brett Favre had his own NFL game. Was that EA's?
Maybe. Oh no, there was John Madden was on 99. Yeah, and then I had the Brett Favre one.
Yeah, I had the Brett Favre that time too.
Yeah. So I played I remember playing on the 64. You it had no offsides, so you can stay on the line of scrimmage and just keep running and even just run in plays.
Oh
And
man!
as soon as you hike it, you can get a sack or you just die through it. It was so weird.
Oh, yeah.
But I remember I really liked. I always liked football. I played Pee Wee football, Little League football, and so I always liked the game. But I didn't really start really heavily playing head to head against people until Madden 2004. That was my first one and then 2005 was the first ever Madden tournament I played in.
Oh wow! So you've been playing competitively for about 10 years then, huh?
Yeah, and it was back in those days, it's PS2, and you'd have to bring your own memory card for your plays, and it's oh, all right, I got all my plays saved and all my players saved. Pop in your memory card when you go to these tournaments, and you wait in line, and then I don't know if you remember PS2 very much. It was took forever to load. You'd be stuck on the loading screen. It's all right, this could be forever.
I can't say I remember that. I had the PS2, but I don't remember that in particular.
Yeah.
Oh,
compared to the 64 to PS2, it was loading was so much worse.
Really? I thought 05 was one of my favorite Maddens of all time. I mean,
yeah.
What would you say your favorite Madden of all time is?
Oh man, I really got into. I thought Madden 13 they stepped up it made it a huge leap. I thought Madden 13 was one of the best ones, but now it's now this Madden, if you pop in Madden 13 and then you pop in, I just played Philly today. One of the guys on the Reddit, we played Madden 13 today. It's and then you play Madden 15. It's man, these graphics are getting so much better, and the players, and we're all nitpicking. I was nitpicking on Eli Manning's face today. We're all nitpicking, but it's a bazillion difference.
Well, I mean, there are still some issues. Which coach is it that has the head flying through the head this year?
Yeah, it's isn't it one of the legacy coaches?
I think so.
Yeah, his head doesn't, his hat this comes through.
Yeah, I'll have to look that up.
And then Andy Reid has some weird green belt for some reason.
Yeah, I saw a picture on Twitter. I think it was they're actually bringing in coaches to take pictures of the faces like they do with players.
Yeah,
so that's solved next year.
I know. I wonder if if the other coaches that don't want to be a participant in the game,
Belichick
and what's the guy from the Saints, Sean Payton.
Yeah,
I don't know. Wouldn't that be another, I don't know, money revenue for them?
But yeah, for those guys, they might not be in the. Is it a coaching association like there is a players association?
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
But I was going back. Let's go back to Madden 2005. Do you remember the QB pie window? That was that one.
Oh, that was.
Yeah.
I turned that off. I hated that.
Well, it was funny because in the Madden tournaments, and plus I was a huge Eric Berry fan, and that's what got me really starting to go from not being on the D line to I would use the safety.
Okay.
And then that's what got me started with that is because I just liked Eric Berry, so I wanted to play with them. And then they came up with that pie, and it's people were having to play as Brett Favre, they were playing as Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, because they couldn't just roll out with Michael Vick and throw it because that was small pie. But it's it was much easier to use her because they had to locate to where they were throwing, so you had a general idea of what area of the field they're looking at, so you could
Yep.
cheat one way.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
was
just like the real NFL there.
yeah, it was so much fun. And like now, and then like I would like my scheme. I still remember my scheme is my first tournament that I won. It was in 2005, and it was I would put it's probably it's like, you know how we talk about cheese. This
Yeah.
was like cheese before like when it was still like in the goat's belly, like before it was curdled. I would sub in offensive linemen as the tight ends, and I would put two tackles at the double tight end sides, and then stick the tight ends out as receivers and just run heavy with Priest Holmes and Larry Johnson, and I would just run the ball all game long.
And it was
yeah, that was my cheese for that scheme.
Yeah, I mean, people are still using that scheme today. I mean, I heard people using those power wide receivers out there on the edge to get extra blockers out there.
I still do to this day. It's a lot easier now that you have those out of position players like I forget the
Penn.
You know, you got Penn and you got Nate Soldier, but then there's another one that's pretty good. I never used him.
Yeah, is it Toilolo?
No.
Oh, well, he's got a good run block, but
Toilolo he's a really cheap, good face catching guy. Yeah.
Does he have run block, or am I?
He's got decent. It's in the 70s.
Oh, 70s. Yeah, never mind.
But yeah, I when I want to run heavy out of the pistol ace, where it's like two tight end sets and two receiver sets. I do the same thing. Put Donald Penn on one side and Nate Soldier on the other. Then I was putting Vernon Davis on one end and Tololo on the other end.
Oh yeah.
And it was just a good run heavy formation. And plus that pistol ace, that is one of another formation that's hard to stop.
Yeah, there's a few of them this year. So what's your squad look like this year?
Well, before I sold or after I sold?
You sold them, huh?
Yes, this is my first actual full year of Mutt, but a lot of people tell you like just sell now while they're still worth money. So
okay.
Then I sold my whole team and I got like 8 million. Gave away some, and now I'm down to 1 million, and then that's what the giveaway's for.
Okay, yeah, let's get into that. Can you explain a little bit about that giveaway you're doing on your YouTube channel? I'll link it in the description and maybe put an annotation in the video.
Yeah, definitely. What I wanted to do, I had all those coins, and I was like, I asked the subreddit, like, what would be a good idea? And somebody, I forget his name, and I'm sorry, but like somebody suggested, like, why don't you do like a top 10 and the winner, like, the winner gets a certain amount, the second place gets a certain amount. I was like, how great would it be to do like, instead of the top 10 plays of the week, do like the top plays of the year, just like kind of like a recap of 2015 or Madden 15.
Yeah.
I was like, that would be great. So that's why I came up with the idea, and I just wanted the people like submit any play from Madden 15, and and I'm gonna go through them. And so far, I've gotten like maybe 20 plays, but they've all been like amazing. So it's gonna be really hard to choose one.
So do you have to submit your own play, or can it be one from a previous top 10 that you've put out?
I would hope that it was somebody's own play, but I can't really, reference and see if someone like done that. But I would, whatever they submit, and then I'll just go through and find the one that I like and pick the winner out. And I didn't want to just, say, hey, I'm going to do this. I figured I'd give some people at least a month to go out and try to make a great play.
Yeah. What's the deadline?
June 26th. I'm gonna try to get out that the video that Sunday. I think the 26th is a Friday, so
yeah, you should definitely put a reminder at like June 20th or something around there on the subreddit.
I definitely will.
Okay. All right. So about your team, you sold it. Was this because of the rep issue? Did that play into it at all?
Yeah, that had a kind of into it. Like, okay, so let's get into the rep issue. I don't know if you're familiar very much how Xbox One deals with the new rep system.
Enlighten me.
Okay, so like the rep system in the 360 used to be you can prefer a player or you can avoid a player. And then when you click avoid, it'll give you options like, cheating, unsportsman, quit early,
Okay.
stuff like that, or you can block someone because of their voice. Well, at least that one, like if someone wanted to spam negative feedback from you, you could still get positive feedback. You get people to spam for you. Positive feedback if it's unwanted. Well, with Xbox One, now they set it up to where there's only negative reporting. They can only report you for same thing, quitting early, unsportsman, and a cheating, and voice or message. Since they just added the voice back, so um, I had a couple issues where like I was getting these messages from Xbox saying like you need to work on your reputation. It's taking a big hit. I didn't think anything of it. It's like I go on the enforcement site and I was reported maybe like out of the first because it has a 6 month little window where it tells you how many reports you got in 6 months. I was like, I got reported like 7 times, and then it was like 4 of them for cheating, and then 3 of them was for unsporting. It's like, okay, well, I obviously think those people are just butt hurt because obviously I stream almost every single game I ever played. You can see there's no cheating. So I was like, okay, and then kept having the issue. So I called Xbox support. They give me the runaround to go to Xbox enforcement form, and I do I submit my little claim. I did some research on it, figured out there's a whole form. People have the same issue. I get the runaround from them. I was like, man, this sucks so bad. So I call Xbox support again, and I'm like, listen, I got the runaround. I've been playing Xbox. I'm on my 8th year of Xbox Live. Never had any issues, and so finally I get to this management person, and they like look at my record, and they said they can't tell me who, but they said there's a certain gamer tag that's called in to the support to say that I've been harassing, cheating, using software to get advantage of the game, blah blah blah. And he said he's called over 100 times, and it was like a little over 2 weeks. I'm like, oh my, who did I make mad? Like, who is this guy?
So he wouldn't tell you who it was, huh?
No, they would not give me that information. But I'm just like, I talked to a specialist. I gave him I emailed him the link to my Twitch account where it archives like almost 2 months of gameplay.
Yeah.
I was like, you can hear me, you can see my gameplay, and I finally got they instead of going from avoid me, they gave me one step up so I could still play head to head, but it's still. So I was like, okay, well, I'll sell off my team and I'll play a game that I suck at. So I got Halo, and I suck at Halo. So I figured I'll play that, and I won't beat people so bad that they'll want to negative report me, and maybe I'll get it back up before the next Madden comes up.
But then your teammates are going to report you for being terrible.
Yeah, that'd be horrible. But I like what the issue. Well, not only does the rep issue take into account that you're getting reported negative, but also gets a count if you quit games early. But in Madden, when your opponent quits, it gives you the quit early. And I was getting so good at the game, I could play a whole season in one day while I was streaming and not finish a single game.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm like, and it's like, okay, I went like 10-0 for a season, got 10 rage quits. Like, okay,
yeah,
all right. And then I get it, and that affects mine. So I'm like,
to do not finish.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was the rep issue in a nutshell.
So why do you think Xbox made that change to the rep? Did you read anything about that?
They were trying to fix the rep issue to help get people to match better with, good players get matched with good players, like kind of like make it even. Like, okay, so if you avoid somebody, you're not going to ever get matched up with them again on Xbox Live. That's what they're trying to go for.
Okay.
So I think that's why people like are getting avoided. Like good players are getting the crap end of the stick on this thing because they're going to be like, wow, that guy beat me really bad. I don't want to play him again. Let's just say he cheated, and and Xbox Live will not match me up with them anymore.
Yeah, I'm surprised more people like in the top 100 don't have that issue then.
Yeah, a couple of people that I know that had the issue. What is his YouTube channel? I think it's not. I think it's T Raw. He his gamer tag is Stiffmeister, and he was getting a lot of rage quits, and he sent me a message because I was asking because he was one of the people that I knew that had the Void Me rep and made it back up, and he said he just played he was playing co-op on Dead Rising 3. He was just playing with his friends, and it got up within a month.
Oh wow, that's
I think a lot of the other guys though, since they're so high up there, and those people know them, they're like, well, I'm just gonna stick in the game because I know who they are, and it's nostalgic that way, I guess.
Okay. So I got a question. Why did you decide to stop making top 10s here for the rest of summer?
Well, summertime, gonna go on vacation, stuff like that.
Where you going?
Hopefully California, and I don't know what else yet, but that's the only thing planned so far.
Okay.
I live in Missouri, so.
Oh, cool.
And then this time of the year, Madden is just winding down. To be honest, like even the subreddit is just not as flowing. Like I think there's like maybe 20 posts a day when there was like over 100 per day.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, that'll happen. I mean, we'll just wait. It'll probably kick back up in August when everybody's getting hyped for the new game. So take a couple months off.
Did you pre-order the Madden 16 Deluxe?
I have not. I think you get the option to pre-order it up until the day before it releases. So I'll see what other deals they have coming out for the summer because they might sweeten the pot or they might not. But I might as well keep the option open. How about you?
Yeah, I already pre-ordered it. When I went to go pick up Halo, I just pre-ordered the Ultimate Team Edition, and this time I'm gonna I'm gonna take it pretty serious from the get-go.
Right.
Like I told you, this was my first ever full season of Madden Ultimate Team, and at the beginning I was just going through and not know really what I was doing.
Yeah. You didn't know what you're doing. You still getting people to rage quit constantly. Huh?
Well, I
hate to see it when you actually try.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about your specialty. I'm going to start playing some gameplay in the background. Your skills on the field and how good you are. So let me see if you got that.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, it's a little choppy, I see, but I'll cut in the video later. So, how do you stop face catching? What's your strategy?
The best way for me to stop face catching, one, I like corners that are above 6 foot. Like if they're 6'1" and above, you can leave them alone. But if you do not, like I told everybody, the best thing to stop face catching, especially if they're throwing them on the outsides, like the people like to run 4 verts and throw them on the outsides. All you got to do is really call cover 2. And then you manually man up the 2 flat routes, which are on the outside receivers. To each corner will man up, and you're basically leaving both of them on the outside double teamed. And then I will sub in free safety Calvin Johnson, the 85 overall. He's like 6'5", and then I was putting in Taylor Mays or Atwater at strong safety, and then you got 2 tall guys to go up there, and it's a double team on the outside every time. So it'll really stop people face catching. But then when I got up to the higher levels and I got 97 DRC and I got Ultimate Team Sherman, I didn't really have to double team the outsides as much. So what I would do if I knew the guy liked to do lob streaks is I would switch off to the CB while the ball was in the air as soon as possible, and it kind of like run in front of them, kind of boxing them out.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole time when I'm running to the circle, I want to get there at the very edge of the circle and on the inside, because I know if I box them out enough and I get to that area, and I hold down Y the whole time I run into the area, it either will be I'm the only one that'll be able to get to the ball and I might get a pick. A lot of people said they like to use a SWAT because they have better success, but I've gone where I've hold the for Xbox the RB button the whole time, and they go for the SWAT and they totally miss it, and then the receiver comes out and takes it. It's like, well, that was the sheer miss. So I'd rather go for the pick, get the turnover, and then and usually that's what if people are lob streaking and they're not having success, they're gonna rage quit. If you're just swatting it away, well, they're like, okay, well, I have 3 more shots at it now.
Yeah, and they only got to succeed 1 out of 4 times to have an effective offense there then.
Yeah, so if you go for the interception, you might as well go for the interception. It's like a punt. So, and then they give up on them.
Yeah, so looking at a little bit of your gameplay, are you the Raiders or are you Kansas City here? I'm guessing
Always
Kansas City.
City.
Always Kansas City.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you can see, he's got a pretty stacked team here.
Yeah, you got Bo Jackson.
Here's
a lob streak.
Yep, there's a little lob streak. We're just trying to get inside position.
Yeah, I guess we didn't really plan this, but he does a lot of rolling out. Do you have contains on here? Do you contain every play against rollout quarterbacks?
Definitely. I definitely run a lot of contain. I like to call what they call dual edge heat. I don't know if you're very familiar with that.
Yeah, off the edge. The linebackers or corners?
Yeah, oh no, I do it with the linebackers because in 4-3, it's really easy to set up because all you really got to do is just spread out the linebackers, just hit right on the D-pad and then up. But then you re-blitz both outside linebackers, then you hit QB contain. You get that really fast dual edge heat.
Really?
Especially if they roll out right into the sack.
Okay.
But it also leaves you open to those short passes to the flats and screens and stuff like that, but just really good if they're they're rolling out a lot. And then I have a good formation out of 3-3-5 where you only have 3 D linemen, and then you do that with the linebackers, and it's almost, and you got enough over top help. It's a really good blitz. It's a simple blitz to set up, but it's really good whenever you have the lead and they're gonna pass.
Yeah. Because it keeps them heated, but you also get good protection over the top.
Yeah, definitely.
But you need those tall receivers there to help you.
Yeah.
How do you deal with tight ends blocking down on your guys? Oh, there's a nice pick for you.
Yeah. What do you mean the tight ends blocking?
So the tight end will block you. I see he's able to roll out if he's using the tight end to block your contains.
Yeah. On those, you just pretty much try to keep I'm using the linebacker, so I'm just trying to keep in coverage.
Okay.
And usually you just roll out with them, and then I like to just keep on my guy until I know they're past there, and then let them have the first down. It's better than to let them have the run than throw it and leave the wide open deep ball.
Yeah, because then sometimes you can get a good shot on the quarterback there.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
I just threw my lob streak, got it just fine.
I see like the screen pass too. Do you do any improvised screens?
Definitely, if you really think about it, that crotch drags play that I run is just like a screenplay. You basically setting up the tight end to come block for you across the field.
Yeah,
it's just a makeshift screen. But then I also like to do those. I'm a really big believer of putting a drag route on almost every basic screen, just to have 2 options, because if the guy's using a middle linebacker and he's going to jump the route, if you don't have a drag route, all your other options is to throw the ball away. But if you give a drag route and they overcorrect, then you have a wide open lane with blockers.
Yeah, that's a great one. I saw that right there was your edge heat. He was still able to get outside though. Is the edge heat vulnerable to the run there?
Not necessarily. I mean, that's Bo, so he's gonna have some areas, but it's actually really good against people that like to run counters and strong power, because they're trying to run to the edge, and you guys got people over in the edge right there.
That's right.
But it's just like, if anything else, like they're rolling out, there's always going to be like a CPU that's just going to mess up sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, we all know that.
There's another good user pick.
Yeah, that was nice. Let's get on to A and B gap blitzes. How do you defend against it? And for the viewers, this second game, it ended up being really laggy. I don't know why, but there was a lot of hiccups in the video, so bear with us while we go through this. Can you describe A and B gap blitzes for the audiences, and how do you counter them and whatnot?
Okay, basically, almost every A and B gap setup's the same. You're basically spreading out your D lineman one way. You're putting one guy in a QB contain for no reason, and then you're re-blitzing one for some reason, and you move him over one way, and then when you let go, he comes back. It's always some weird manipulation of the D line from the work.
Yeah.
So it's basically you're trying to fool the offensive lineman CPU, and they
Yeah.
go completely retarded. They go stupid and let the guy wide open. So I found out that the best way to stop A and B gaps is running under the center. They won't come through as long as you're under the center. And then a lot of people that like to run A and B gaps also like to run that weak slant that comes on the outside.
Yep.
So I found this play under the Broncos one, and it's under the center. It's got 3 receiver sets, and it's got a tight end and a running back. Well, all I have to do is I can quick hike. If you hit up on the or is it right bumper and then up and it's max protect, you can do it really fast. And if you quick hike while they're trying to set up these A and B gaps, then their users way off because they're too busy, on the D line fiddling around. And it's just really good way to get people from stop doing A and B gaps is quick hike, max protect, and run under center. It's pretty easy, and especially if you got really good receivers like I was using Kelvin Benjamin and Mike Evans, and I would just throw it over the top of them because the weak slant cover had you pretty much got a one-on-one no matter where you throw it.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a good counter to that. What's that?
Another one that works is if it's A and B gap but not edge is running play action plays. For some reason, the play action, the A and B gaps don't get there. But if they're blitzing on the outside and you're running play action, it's an instant sack anyway. So it's not as effective.
Yeah. Yeah. So have you seen that recent exploit? Whereas if you're under center, they can tackle you when the ball gets hiked?
I don't think that's really an exploit because you can't refabricate it every time. It just happens every so often.
Okay.
Basically, I've noticed that with me, Joe Green, if I pinch the D line in both of them and then I crash them down every so often, it's just the CPU, the center will just go stupid and try to block one of them, but they're both in the same gap and they'll leave it, wide open.
Okay. Yeah, I saw this. I forgot whose YouTube channel a couple days ago. They used the middle linebacker, and through use of the suction tackle, they were able to.
Oh yeah,
the quarter. You saw that one?
Yeah, you definitely can get that through there, but then again, if you're running on that one, all you gotta do is run under the shotgun and throw the flat routes. They're wide open.
Yeah, but in the shotgun, they got the A and B get glitch.
Yeah, definitely. They're just trying to abuse every exploit possible.
I guess that is how you win games sometimes.
That's definitely why I like that cross drags. It will stop. A and B gaps will get through, but you're throwing it so quick, and you have a lead blocker. It really doesn't matter. You just overthrow it.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you stop the PA end around?
My favorite way to stop the PA end around is just back to running that cover 2, and on the single receiver set, you man him up and you shade him to the inside because most of the time it's that quick hike or the quick throws and inside throw.
Yep.
So you do that, and then I use the middle linebacker, and then I'll hit QB contain on the D line. It's not going to work all the time. I don't really spread them out because I know it's not going to be that effective. But I will highlight the running back because a lot of people either like the quick hike or quick throw to the single receiver side, or they'll quick throw it to the running back, and then I'll manually cover the tight end route with my user.
Okay.
And it works. It's really effective there. But then if a guy's got a really fast mobile quarterback like Kaepernick, RG3, Michael Vick, and they like to run out of it, I like to instead of kind of run that dual edge heat I was talking to you about, spread out the linebackers. I'll still man up and inside shade the single receiver set, but then I'll hit that QB contain. As soon as he rolls out, that QB contain's right there for a sack.
Yeah,
it's pretty effective on that one.
So do you run the 4-3 or the 3-4?
I run 4-3.
4-3. Okay.
Yeah, so it's easy to spread out the linebackers there and have the two outside ones.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
run the Cincinnati playbook?
Yes, the
Okay.
Bengals. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then another one you can do is that cover 2 that's under the quarters that has a spy, and put in a guy like Hester or something with just a guy with high speed and decent tackle. So if they like to roll out with the quarterback, you have the spy on the roll outside, and it's a
Oh,
force them to tackle or force them to roll out and then
yeah.
force them to throw it.
That's a good idea. I hadn't thought of that. But you're not too concerned about, the cover 2 getting beat deep at all?
No,
Like
because
verticals plays?
you're manned up on the one receiver, and then you have two safeties playing deep, so there's no deep routes that are overpowered there.
Okay. Okay, great. So how do you user and coverage?
And basically,
What do you do?
the user and coverage.
Yeah,
Are you
who do
talking
you,
about like when the ball's in the air?
yeah, no, I mean like through a play. So when you're using, do you choose to user a linebacker or safety, or how do you make that distinction about what to do for each play?
Well, first off, I use it as a linebackers. All the those are my two that I either the left outside linebacker in the 4-6 or the middle linebacker in every other formation. And it's
What players do you have there? What players do you normally keep?
I was using when I had my team, I was using 98 Thomas Davis and then 99 Patrick Willis. I liked, they're basically the same player type. They got high speed, decent catch, and they're both the average size.
Okay.
So I was able to, you can bait just a little bit better with faster linebackers.
Yeah.
Because you can go one, like say there's two slants coming at you, you can cover one and then you can pretend like you're going to stay with them and then come back and jump it, and you have enough speed to recover from that. Or if you just make a mistake and then you see a guy coming open, you have the speed to catch up back to it and undercut the ball.
Okay. All right. So
but when you're using the linebacker, the first thing you need to do is always cover the first read, which is you got to kind of know what your opponent's doing. Most of the time, the first read's always the tight end for some reason. I don't know why everyone likes to throw to the tight ends.
It's the shortest throw, I think.
Yeah. So you
cover the screen.
Cover the first read, and then you hope your blitz is going to get there, or if your 4-man's going to get there, you try to cover long enough for them to get there, and then you want to cover one route long enough to know that he's covered, and then you could drop off and cover another route because your opponent's going to be like, oh, that guy's covered, and then go to his next read.
Yeah.
And most of the time, opponent's not going to have enough time to go back to the original read that he thought that wasn't open is now open.
Yeah. So the best usering takes place with baiting one way and going the other. So I think those guys have decent agility too. That's necessary, not just raw speed.
Yeah.
For usering. So let's move on to your general thoughts on Madden. Like, what do you think of Madden 16's cover athlete and the new receiving system? What do you think that'll entail?
Oh man, I think it, definitely the Madden cover vote. I voted for Beckham. I thought the guy's just a sheer athlete.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a rookie and he didn't play all season, but he definitely helped my fantasy football team. Shout out to him. So I think he's got raw skill, and I think what was it? The first guy to break the curse, was it Calvin Johnson?
Yeah.
In 13.
Yeah, he broke it easily.
Yeah. So I'm not too worried about the curse, but I think he deserves it. I mean, Gronk had a great year. Gronk's also in a great system.
Yeah.
And then you got Eli Manning with no offensive line, still doing great things. So I think they did a lot more work than Tom Brady with Bill Belichick telling them what routes to run and everything.
Well, I mean, Gronk is still a phenomenal athlete himself.
Yeah.
His measurables and his size and the way he can move with it.
Definitely.
I would not want to be standing in front of him with him bearing down on me.
Yeah. Yeah. And he just, to me, for him, an actual tight end in real life, he lacks that he doesn't have the over the top speed, but he's the tight end. But he doesn't have that raw, like, I'm afraid he's gonna hit me run blocking wise. I mean, he's pancaked a couple people, but it's not like you would think his size, he would be a bigger threat in the run game.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't really watch enough New England Patriots games to say he's a bad run blocker, but I've never heard him.
He's not elite. He just does enough to does the job.
Okay, he's no Donald Penn out there.
No. But the whole new passing, I think it's just gonna take place with probably one of the joysticks. I'm thinking it's gonna be like, if you hit the joystick down, it's gonna be a back shoulder, like down and to the left. It's gonna be like a low back shoulder thrower. It's gonna be something like along those lines.
Okay.
I would sure hate that they would just like do a cut screen and then go to like slow motion.
Yeah.
If they did that, I think that would ruin that whole catching aspect. But I think it's just going to be one more button that you can manipulate for the pass. Like you can already you can lead left, you can lob, you can bullet, you can already do a little bit. So I think they're just that joystick's gonna just have a little bit more to it.
Okay. Like, do you think maybe they'll use the right joystick, or that'd be hard to do if you're also?
Yeah, it'd be too hard to do because you'd have you'd have to hit the icons and that. I just think it'll be I think it'll be a hot route, like you can audible to a back shoulder fade, so your receiver already knows it's coming.
Okay.
It'll just be like a timing throw where you have to throw it in a certain spot for it to be effective.
Yeah, they can use like left trigger then as a modifier on the left joystick for where to throw the ball.
Yeah, well, the left stick's already the playmaker, so the left trigger is already the playmaker stick, so that would make sense.
Yeah. I guess we'll see what they end up doing. I mean, I'm sure they'll announce a lot at E3, which is in a few weeks, June 16th.
Yeah,
and we'll see more.
And definitely the first couple of demos will be able to play.
Yeah, I hope so. So what with Madden 15 basically over for you? What was your opinion on this year's version?
Actually, first off, you gotta like I said earlier, you gotta props for the graphics on the Xbox One for Madden. I enjoyed that like crazy, and then you really get into the depth of the game. Like it had some holes into it, like the blocking scheme. I don't know why they can't fix that. You remember the field goal block glitch? The A and B gap, can get through. It's like, why can't they fix the blocking? Like okay, so if your opponent is blitzing to the right and you slide protect to the right, it'll still go through. So it's like, why are you putting these options in if they're not going to work? That just bothers me. But they did pretty good in other aspects of the game. I thought fatigue played a really good, a better role in the game. Like you could notice, like, I wasn't able to pound the ball with Jamal Charles every play. He would get noticeably tired, even though he was like yellow or red or something like that. You could still play him in. I noticed a difference in the running instead of just full speed almost every play.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that the catching was still. I don't know if it was predetermined, but like they did a certain animation no matter what. Like if you threw it one way, like perfect example is if I did every time I did the lob streak to 94 team of the week Calvin Johnson, he went up with it with one hand no matter what I did. It was always the same animation from him. But then Mike Evans was different. Like every receiver had their own, and it was like a predetermined what they were gonna do if you went to the certain spot of the ball.
Oh wow, I hadn't really noticed that. But interesting observation.
Yeah,
I'll have to take a look at that, like in practice mode or something.
Yeah, it's like each receiver, and then I know what spot, what part of the circle, like the throwing circle. I don't know if you noticed that, but when you throw the ball in it's like an orangish colored yellowish circle that pops up.
Yeah.
And I always run to no matter what I'm on offense or defense, I run to the same spot because I know that's the high point. If I go to that, I'll have the high point of the ball.
Yeah.
And then I noticed, like, I would go to the same spot with different receivers, and they'd all do a different, predetermined animation, no matter what receiver. Like Plexico, I noticed that Plexico first, he would go up with two hands, and then Mike Evans would do a different two-handed grab, and then 94 Team of the Week, Calvin Johnson would always go up for it with one hand, no matter what.
How did you, how much practice did you get on those lob streaks? I mean, how did you spend a lot of time in practice mode, or was it kind of?
No, just through the season, I play almost like I was at a point in time I was playing almost 10 games a day. For what 6 months.
Wow.
So
yeah, you're pretty darn good, well practiced.
Yeah, don't need a whole lot of practice when you play it so much. That's like another thing. It's like you earn so much skill just playing the game, just doing it over and over, and become repetitive and start learning tendencies in the game and start picking them up.
Yeah. So onto general Mutt stuff. What was your favorite promo this year?
Oh, definitely Christmas. I'm like that Christmas promo was my favorite. Just I felt like that movie Seven. What's in the box? That's like every time I got a new item, I'm just like, that's the first meme that I think of is what's in the box.
So did you like that they redid it? What is it with they did it again, Ultimate Freeze 2, and then they did it with Easter again. Right? Yeah, so they did it twice more. Did you like it when they did it again?
I don't know. I didn't really care about the eggs as much. No.
Yeah.
And then
I think disappointed that they made it unoptionable and tradable.
Yeah, the best one to me was Christmas, and then I would have to say the other one I liked was Halloween. I thought that was really great. You got those enraged players for like a week.
That was cool. Well, it was cool until on February, I don't know, 6th or something. I decided, hey, last year they enraged on the 13th of a month.
Yeah, Friday the 13th, and they didn't.
So I bought about 30, 40 cards of most.
Oh, you're gonna try to flip them when they're enraged?
Yeah, and that speculation did not work out.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anything else you want to chat about, or?
I think we took almost 45 minutes. I think you got a lot of video or audio to cut through.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it up raw, the audio. I don't know what I'm gonna do about the video yet, since we only had 12 to 13 minutes of video. So I guess we'll see. We'll see what I
could just put like a random picture there and just say podcast on the picture and let it go and add a certain amount of time on the picture.
All right, I could do that. Yeah. All right. Well, good talk to you, Embry.
All right, you too, buddy.
See you on the subreddit.
All right, take care.